All right, welcome back. We've talked a lot about politics, and I think we just need to cool off a bit. I know we'll have very little time, but I want to touch on the Oscars they held last week. I had you here on the show last week, and we talked a little bit about the nominees and all of that. And let's just touch back now. And I said we're going to call you back to find out how well you did with your predictions. And something you said off air that you didn't say on air was about Rosamund Pike. You thought she was going to take it for Best Supporting Actress. How disappointed were you?
I was disappointed, but I think I saw it coming. I mean, 4 times, you have to hand it. I mean, without sounding political, I mean, if Buhari wins the election, this is the 4th time you'd see it coming. So
now you're sounding political.
But really, it was a bit disappointing, but it was.
But how do you think the awards went as a whole? People have given Neil Patrick Harris a lot of knocks for how he hosted.
Definitely, even though he was funny enough in the same movie as Rosamund Pike, I think, the whole lack of diversity, everything too stagey, stage managed. They were not playing for a diverse audience, because I watched it and I just felt it could have been a whole lot better. I mean, it was the fashion that was more interesting for me, and then some of those comments that were made that I'm sure they were not made with that intent, but ended up having a backlash. That was, and all of that, and then I mean, Lupita's dress being stolen and
we'll
returned.
get to Lupita and the fashion and all of that. But was anybody that surprised you that won? Was there a surprise winner for you on the night?
Oh yes, Best Picture. I mean, both of us got it wrong.
I was so sure. I mean, I thought Boyhood. I mean, Boyhood is such a great, and I've seen a lot of articles. So in fairness to me and my prediction, a lot of articles have said, how come Boyhood didn't win? I mean, that was a once in a lifetime chance to award such a movie that it took 12 years to make.
I mean, it's visionary. I mean, to stick to it and just finish it. I mean, in Nollywood, you can understand something taking 5 years to make.
Because there's budget issues.
Exactly.
But it was a conscious effort to make a 12-year movie. And I was actually very disappointed. I mean, Birdman is a great movie, without a doubt. But I mean, Boyhood deserved, I think, that award. So that was a surprise for me. Let's talk fashion now. And the dress that got stolen. First of all, this was like a week later? Why was the dress still and why was she still in the hotel with the dress? What was happening there?
I don't even know how it works. I thought like...
the dress and return. I thought that's what happens.
Because like when you go on TV, like sometimes they just tell you push the tags in, and as soon as you are going up, they make sure okay, you didn't stain it, and they take it.
And for such an expensive dress with now we hear they are fake pearls. Well, at least there were pearls on them. You would have thought that. I mean, well, I'm sure there was insurance on it anyways, even if she never got it back. But on the fashion generally, how do you think people fared on the night on the red carpet? Who caught your eye? Besides J-Lo.
That was the obvious one. I actually like the yellow dress Jennifer Hudson wore. I thought that was different because you're used to seeing reds, the nude palette, but something like yellow. Keira Knightley was a definite no-no for me. It was just Keira Knightley.
Okay, Keira Knightley, okay.
Yeah, that was a definite no-no. Oprah too wasn't bad.
What about Lady Gaga?
The red gloves, it reminds me of like the fairy dishwashing.
But it's Lady Gaga. I mean, it's Lady Gaga. She can do anything she wants, really. And I thought she looked pretty sane.
Yeah, compared to having meat all over you, like some suya person. Then yes, I think that looked sane. I mean, without the gloves, I would happily go with Lady Gaga's look. Yeah. But I guess headlines need to be made. There needs to be some discussion. I think they do all these things on purpose. And
a lot of the speeches on the night were very political. There was Patricia Arquette who spoke about, equal rights for women and all of that. And John Legend and Common talked about, issues of, race and all of that. It looked like everybody was trying to top the next person with speeches. There was even one on gay rights, I think. Do you think that's a trend that people were just trying to catch on to? It looked like it was the highlight of the night, more than the host even.
Yeah, I think with all the, discussion about not enough diversity, then everybody was going to make a statement, and sort of maybe save face and all of that. But I actually didn't know that there were more people in prison than
they were in slavery back then. Yeah, that was a very scary statistic to listen to. Yeah.
And apparently they had planned to go ahead and do like a protest, and the director of Selma said no, so they honored it. So you could almost see like some give and take going on behind the scenes.
Was there anything you think we should have learnt on the night from the Oscars? Maybe the MVCs are holding very soon. The AMAs are coming, What should we pick from the awards?
I think definitely not to give people what they expect. I mean, we can knock the Oscars down for not being as diverse or, not always being as fun, but I think it was different. And I think that's what we need to do, something different, something that will keep us talking about. And even if we have to do maybe some fake Ankara beads, put on, then yes, I think something different, more performances, and really letting the filmmakers shine. Yeah.
Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank
It's a
you.
pleasure, always a pleasure to have you here. Of course, we'll have you back in the future to talk more movies. Hopefully, maybe the end this is, you never know.
Yeah.
Thanks for being here today.
Thank you.
Like I always say, you can join the conversation on Twitter at YNigerTV is the handle. The hashtag to follow is Rubbin Minds. You can also visit the website yniger.com/TV. Remember, you've never seen your people talk like this before. I will see you next week.
Distraction, it's all